How is everybody? Welcome to the channel. This is Hillbilly Crime, and my name is Elizabeth. If you've not been here before, thank you. Join us. Today, we are going to look a little bit at the documents that we got from the public records. And so let me share my screen. Everybody, come on in. Come on in. Let's see. I don't remember which one of these. Okay. It's going to be this one. I hope I don't have too much going on my computer. Let's see. Let me see if I can make it bigger. There we go. Can you all see that? Hello, everybody. Justice Jane. Welcome to the channel. Justice Jane. Talls. Hello, everybody. Good evening. Good evening. I've been digging through all this stuff today. Patricia Allen. Hello from the beautiful, awesome Pacific Northwest Olympia, Washington. Wow, wow, wow. That's completely on the other side of the country. Oh, but it's beautiful up there. I watch TV shows that show it all the time. Let's see. Welcome, everybody. Pam, Just Country. Hello, everyone. Extreme Blonde. Hi. Welcome to our chat. Yes, join us. Michael Barrett. How you been? How is everybody this evening? Hopefully, everybody is blessed. Okay, so I was digging through all these documents, and I wanted to start with this one because this looks like it is the beginning of the investigation. So it's the Commonwealth of Kentucky Office of the Attorney General, Department of Criminal Investigations, and this complaint, it's a complaint report, and it was filed on January 27th of 2022. So we are, if you've not been watching our little series, we are going through the public records that were released from the Kentucky Attorney General's office on the investigation into Ben Fields. And Ben Fields is the former deputy, sheriff's deputy, who worked under Mickey Stines, and who took a plea bargain for a lot of inappropriate sexual behavior. And so we're just going to look at this and see where it started at. So Matt Easter was the detective that we've been listening to, and it says, Attorney Bethany Baxter wrote a formal request for an investigation to look into allegations made by, and they've redacted the name, against Letcher County Deputy Sheriff Ben Fields, and then it has it redacted, advised that a sexual relationship occurred because Mr. Fields was in a position as a deputy sheriff and she could not refuse him. And so this was the beginning of it. This was the complaint, and it was filed January 27th. All right, so let me, and now we're going to look at some of these supplementary reports that Easter wrote up. It says April 29th, 2022, he went to Ned Pillersdorf's law office in Prestonsburg, met with Debbie Stumbo, who is Ned's wife, who gave me an ankle monitor that redacted had dropped off at their office. This is the ankle monitor that Mr. Fields had given one of the victims when she had asked for one when her boyfriend found out about them. The ankle monitor will be placed in the OAG evidence room. So he had that ankle monitor. And then I think that was just about the search warrants there. And they've kind of got this stuff in backwards the way that I had to present it this way. Okay. Order on disposition of evidence. And the date on this is February 16th, 2024 was when it was entered. And it says Mike Watts, Letcher Circuit Clerk. The defendant having entered a plea of guilty and final judgment having been entered January 17th, 2024, and the court being sufficiently advised, it is hereby ordered that evidence in custody of the Attorney General be returned to the owners. Oh. So that was just returning the ankle monitor. Okay. And that looks like it's the citation. And then that's just a log of the evidence. Okay, I want to get to the beginning of this one here. This is one of the reports that Easter wrote. Okay. Evidence and how it's marked. Investigative report. Let me get to the first page. Okay. Synopsis. Investigative report. Hang on a second, y'all. Let me get this dog or we might be interrupted. Come here. I always think I've got them put up or took care of before I start, and then it goes all to pieces. All right, let me go over here and see some of these comments. William Collins. We're just looking through the paperwork now. I might not have done a good enough job on that dog. Hey, Elizabeth, how quick did you get back the info from the FOIA request? Well, I'm not sure how quick it was on the stuff that I've got, but one of my, Gavin, he put in a FOIA request and had it the same day. So, yeah, I'm going to have to do something else with this dog. Hang on, y'all. I'm so sorry. Come on. Jeez, oh, Pete. Live recording, I'm sorry. Please subscribe and hit that like button, y'all. My daddy was raised in Stamping Ground, Kentucky. Yes, we know exactly where that's at. Hello from Wisconsin. Annette, hi everyone. Justice Jane, Miss Betty Spurlock, Dave H. Hey Betty, do you know Chris Spurlock lives in Indiana? Right. You're one of the best too, Elizabeth. I don't feel like it right now. I'm sorry. So informative and no cussing and lagging, just clean and straight. Yeah, I don't like a lot of all that bad mouth. Hello, Dave. Stay away from Dalton, my dog Rex says. Ah, I'm in Blue Island. Hi, Love Bug. Yes. Love Bug is our great mod. She does a wonderful job. We can't see the whole screen because of the comment put up there. Okay, well, we'll take them back down so you guys can see it. And then we'll go back through some of these here in just a minute. Okay, let me get back over here. All right, so this is the beginning of the investigative report that Matt Easter wrote. The synopsis: redacted, filed a civil lawsuit against Letcher County Deputy Ben Fields. Misredacted attorney Bethany Baxter contacted our office to report possible criminal activity. Blank said that she had to have smacks with Deputy Fields in order to stay out of jail when Deputy Fields was supervising her house arrest. The modus operandi: Letcher County Deputy Ben Fields was a bailiff for the courts and worked for East Kentucky Corrections Services, Inc. East Kentucky Corrections Services monitors individuals on house arrest. Both of these jobs put Deputy Fields in a position of authority over Blank, which led Deputy Fields to exploit that position in order to have schmecks with redacted. And I was thinking, when I was reading all this stuff earlier, I was thinking about that. And they were trying to remove Mickey from it, saying that he wasn't over him. The sheriff's department didn't have anything to do with the house arrest stuff. But really, it did. I want to know, like, who actually gave him the authority to do all of the things that he was doing. Like, I mean, did he just take it upon himself to do a lot of these things, and then everybody that was around him just let him go? Well, I mean, it's kind of the way that we see a lot of the bad police officers. Whenever they do something bad, it's usually not just a one-time thing. If they're a bad cop, usually they have a history of being a bad cop. And so, but if their coworkers don't speak up, or if their victims don't speak up and they're afraid to turn in a complaint, or they make it so difficult to actually turn in a complaint, because I've been there before too, where it's not so easy to complain on a member of their department, regardless of what department it is. And good cops usually don't call out the bad cops, but they see them. They know what they're doing. They've rode with them. They've met them at calls. So they've seen their temperaments, and they've seen their attitudes. They've seen how they relate to people. They know if their coworker is being too aggressive towards people. Like, you can pick up on that. You can see that stuff, and nobody ever speaks up. Not usually. But anyway, I was just thinking about that. All right. Go to the next one. All right. On February 3rd, 2022, I contacted Bethany Baxter, an attorney in Lexington, about a complaint that she had sent in to the Kentucky Attorney General's office. Ms. Baxter said that she had filed a civil lawsuit on behalf of Redacted. Ms. Baxter said Letcher County Deputy Ben Fields was having a sexual relationship with Redacted while they were on house arrest. Ms. Baxter also said that attorney Ned Pillersdorf was also representing blank and would be able to give me contact information in order to speak to somebody else. Ms. Baxter also provided me with copies of messages from blank to Mr. Fields. The documents that Ms. Baxter provided will be listed as attachment 16 in this case file. I'm going to write that down. On February 3rd, 2022, I talked to Mr. Pillersdorf about getting in touch with blank. Mr. Pillersdorf said that I could call blank's ex-husband and he would be able to get me in touch with somebody else. On February 3rd, same day, I talked to Letcher County Commonwealth Attorney Edison Banks. Mr. Banks said that he had been getting reports about inappropriate relationships Ben Fields was engaging with individuals on house arrest. Mr. Banks said that the Letcher County jailer, Bert Sloan, might have more information about this. Mr. Banks said that Assistant Commonwealth Attorney, Assistant County Attorney Michael Watts might also have further information for me. Okay, so I'm going to save what I'm going to say until after I read all this. February 3rd, so it's the same day, I contacted Michael Watts. Mr. Watts said that he had been told about the complaint regarding Ben Fields, but did not have any direct knowledge of anything. Mr. Watts confirmed that Deputy Fields obtained an arrest warrant for escape on one of the victims. Mr. Watts also stated that he had heard that AOC had come and pulled security video from the courthouse. He informed me that drug court worker Robbie Kentzer might have further information about the complaint. On February 4th, so this would be the next day, I contacted somebody and he provided me with a phone number to reach somebody else. Same day, February 4th, I talked to somebody and told her that I would like to speak with her regarding her complaint on Deputy Fields. The victim agreed to meet me at the Prestonsburg field office. On February 8th, Detective Shannon Blevins with the Kentucky Office of the Attorney General and I met with the victim at the Prestonsburg field office. Accompanying her was her attorney, Mr. Pillersdorf. The victim said that she met Letcher County Deputy Ben Fields when she was arrested in Letcher County and put on house arrest. She said that this was around June of 2021. She said that District Court Judge Mullins told her to see Deputy Fields in order to get the ankle monitor activated. She stated that this is when she and Mr. Fields started having flirtatious conversations, such as Mr. Fields telling her that she was pretty and she deserved better than her boyfriend, blank. Now, you guys that have been here with us the last few days and who have been listening to these recordings, do you all kind of think that that's how that went down? Because I thought a little bit differently. Oh, let me get back up here to some of these comments. Liz's accent reminds me of my grandparents. Well, honored. Who's fed up with all the stupid commercials on YouTube? Sorry. East Tennessee. Let's see. Walking Tall John Hall here. Welcome, welcome. Glad you're here. I hope our furry co host, the sleeping snorer, is here with us today. Yeah, she's somewhere. I had to kick the other two out. They were causing too many problems. R. Drake, good evening, honey. Welcome to the channel. Hi, Lex. It's 3 miles away. Okay. How is your mom? She's doing really good. She's been having some conflicts with the times that we've been going live the last few days, so she ain't been able to be here. And then the other night, her internet was out, and she was having trouble, so she just clicked out. Justice Jane, I'm in Nashville, Lee T says. All right. Hey, everyone. So when are we going to hear about more investigations, more reform? How do we make that happen? Well, okay, so let me get back over here to what we were doing. Blank explained to me that she had to pay a fee to keep the ankle monitor service, and if she did not have the fee money, she would have to return to jail. Blank had petitioned the court to go to rehab, and she told Deputy Fields that she was going. She stated that if he had to arrest her for that, he would just have to do it. Sometime around the 1st of August, Deputy Fields then told her to meet him at the courthouse. She said while at the courthouse, he took the ankle monitor off and told her to go to rehab and not worry about the fees. Deputy Fields told her when she came to Letcher County to make sure she had her ankle covered. She said after she left rehab, he continued to let her keep her ankle monitor off until she needed to go to court. When she had to go to court, he would meet her at the courthouse and give Blank an ankle monitor. After her court appearance, he would then remove it in the district court judge's chambers. She said that Blank found out about the relationship and that she had told Deputy Fields that he found out about them. Ms. Blank said this is when Mr. Fields had an escape warrant issued for her. Blank said that she still had an ankle monitor, so she could say she had one if someone asked her about it. Blank went on to explain that during the time she was on house arrest, she had a sexual relationship with Deputy Fields. While meeting Mr. Fields at the courthouse to get her ankle monitor taken on and off, he began kissing Blank and they had sexual intercourse. Blank said that she was not physically forced to have schmex with Mr. Fields, but felt as if she had to or she would have to go back to jail. She said that she had engaged in oral and sexual intercourse once with Mr. Fields in the judge's chambers. Blank said the night Deputy Fields removed the ankle monitor in order to go to rehab, he kissed her. Well, he's making this sound like it was some forbidden budding romance between the two of them. Blank explained to me like it was a forbidden romance. You know, the only thing that was wrong about this was the position of authority. That's kind of how it's coming across to me. What do you guys think? Blank explained to me that she felt she had to have a sexual relationship with Mr. Fields because he was waiving the ankle monitor fee and not making her wear it. She said that if she had not had a sexual relationship with Mr. Fields, she would have had to pay the fee, which, in my opinion, also makes it sound like he's making her sound out to be like she's prostituting herself. which she could not have done and would have been placed back in jail. The victim explained that she thought the ankle monitor was part of the sheriff's office and that she felt he was working for the sheriff's office while he was dealing with her regarding the ankle monitor. She also said that Deputy Fields told her to stay away from Justin, last name unknown, because Mr. Fields insinuated that Justin might be an informant, and also told her about possible road checks. Blank said that they communicated via voice call, text, and Facebook Messenger. I started to read the messages on Facebook and took several pictures of the messages on her phone, but realized that there were too many messages to continue photographing them. I then asked her if I could take her phone to our office in Frankfort to have her phone downloaded, and she agreed to do that. Blank signed consent forms in order for me to take her phones to have the content downloaded. Blank went on to say that Deputy Fields' uncle Bill Meade started calling her. The victim told Deputy Fields about his uncle calling her, and she told him he was a revert pay. Deputy Fields told her his uncle could help her with her charges. Blank said she did have a sexual relationship with Mr. Meade. She said that Mr. Meade told her he could help her with her charges and gave her money when they met. I asked the victim to explain to me again about the relationship between her and Deputy Fields. The victim said that she had heard rumors while she was in jail that if you had schmecks with Deputy Fields, you did not have to pay the monitoring fee. She said that Deputy Fields started flirting with her, and she saw an opportunity not to pay the monitoring fee. The victim stated that she told him that she did not have any money to pay the fee, and he said they would figure something out. Blank said that she would have kept the relationship going until her charges were resolved. Ms. Blank said that she told Deputy Fields that her boyfriend knew about their relationship, and that is when Deputy Fields started distancing himself from her. Then a short time later, Blank learned that Deputy Fields obtained a warrant on her. This is only a summary of the interview. The interview was audio recorded and will be listed as attachment 2 in this case file. All right, we're on February 9th. Let me go check some of these comments. Hello, wonderful people from Queensland, Australia. Hey, you, great work. The truth rules. You're doing a great job. Thank you. I think the problem is it's never going to happen. Nothing, and Stines knew it too. My parents were born and raised in Mullins. Yeah, I know where Mullins is. That's over in Harlan County area, or way. Mullins is. I'm not sure if it's in Harlan County or if it's in one of those other counties on the other side. But I know where Mullins is. Hello, Karen. Stines, not stones. Yeah, I figured it. Government will never reform. It has always been a criminal enterprise, starting with the founding fathers. Yes, please hit that like and the subscribe button. I ain't too proud to beg. Snow in West Michigan, cold in East Michigan. We got a new member, R. Drake. Thank you for becoming a member. Welcome. Yes. Let's see. New member. All right, and there we got one too. Mama Duck, Queen Ager, became a member. Awesome. Hit the thumbs up. Did you remember? Sounds like they were all covering up for the deputy. We're not. And I noticed that in these documents, some of the things he puts in this report, I didn't catch in the audio recording. So it's interesting to read these because he puts stuff in here that I didn't hear. Set your notifications so you don't miss a show. That's right. 2 new members. I watch Elizabeth because of my grandma, too. She was born and raised in Letcher County. Love that southern drawl. Sometimes it's a lot thicker than others, that accent. Yay. Yay, yay. I enjoyed the kitty co-host on Gavin Fish. Yeah, I'm sure one of them will jump up here tonight, too. Oh, loved a sweet tater. Yes, yes, yes. We're going to have to make sure we get on here tomorrow. Oh, the comment is covering the screen again. Yeah, I'm going to go back to it here in just a minute. We're just reading some of these comments. Kentucky laws are ignorant. Unbelievable. Yeah. Backwards. Do you know my Aunt Pat and Uncle Morgan Bates? I don't know. Patricia Bates? If that's her, yeah. Yeah. It's not just Kentucky. Mm-mm. This is the only time I've ever seen the home arrest program work like this. This is crazy. Whoever set the policies up was looking for a lawsuit. Well, and something else, too, that kind of joggled my mind was they keep referring to the rumors that the girls heard in the jail. Well, rumors don't start without no basis, And these 2 women said, the 2 that actually brought the civil suit, they had already heard the rumors. So the rumors were about other people. So this was not just happening to these 2. The rumors had to be based on other women that this was happening to, for them to have been able to hear it. And then they act like they couldn't find anybody. Well, I'd say it's embarrassing. I'd say it's scary. The way that he did with these 2 women. One of them was married and the other one had a boyfriend, and he didn't care about that. He was married. It wasn't like he was a single bachelor, who was easily tempted by some beautiful goddess. We're talking about the Letcher County Jail. And I've got something I want to show y'all, too. Gavin asked me the other night in that interview, he acted very surprised when I said that, a lot of the community loved Mickey, that he was very beloved to a lot of people. Now, I'm not saying that's how I personally feel. I'm saying that that's how I perceive how the community has responded to Mickey before and after this happened, right? He's got so many supporters in this county. I mean, what's that tell you, right? But the people that all of these busts that were going on and all the money and the rugs and the weapons and stuff that they were confiscating off the street and all the people that they were putting in jail and stuff. Well, what I said Gavin sounded surprised about was he said you would think that most people would not like him, because he's putting so many people away and da-da-da-da. And, but the substance that we're seeing right now is this math stuff. And these people are like not once it does so much damage, like they could use it one time or 1 week for 1 week, and it'll grab a hold of them. And I don't know what chemicals are in it or whatever, but it is absolutely like changing people's mind. Like they're going into this psychosis to where they don't even know what world they're in half the time. This math that we're finding in our community is an extremely destructive substance to people's bodies and their minds. It's unbelievable how much damage this stuff does to people. And I've got some posts that I'm gonna show y'all, and you'll understand what I'm saying when you read it. Let's see. 83 and it likes. It's free to hit the like and subscribe. Yeah, hit that like button, please. Hi from Breath It. Hello, tweets. If we can get 100 likes, Elizabeth will hit the YouTube algorithm. That's right. Please. Thank you. I'm on the border of Menifee and Moorhead. Yep. I don't live in Kentucky. Let's see. Fayette, Jessamine Line via Car Creek. Yeah. We know where Car Creek is. If you love the channel, hit that like. Yeah. I have wonder what's up with Fields' wife. Well, she said after this all hit that she was standing by her man, allegedly. Where there's smoke, there's usually fire. Crazy how when I was running for sheriff 2014, I was telling people about this stuff, and now it's all coming out 10 years later. And I personally think Mickey planned this before he did it. Well, I've said it too. Everything that he knew about him, like if he wanted to have done this and gotten away with it, he absolutely could have. He absolutely could have, but he didn't. He went in straight where he saw it, where he knew a camera was, and he did it the way that he did it. Was that sending a message? Was that strategic for some reason? I don't know. We just don't know. Y'all quit referring to Elizabeth as grandma age. That's okay. I ain't a grandma yet. I was told math has drain cleaner in it. Well, honey, I'm telling you what, it is awful when you see the damage to these people. It's just so sad, and they can't hide it. They cannot hide it. It turns their skin like a grayish color, and they don't sleep for a week or two at a time. They're extremely sleep deprived. They're thin as twigs. Their voice will get real gravelly because they talk and talk and talk and talk and talk, and they never take a drink of anything. So whatever it is, it just makes them absolutely, it's sad when you see them. Like I've seen them in the grocery store dropping all their stuff in the floor and just being a mess. And it is awful. It's awful. And you'd think, what would make anybody take something like that would make them behave that way? They can't see themselves. They absolutely cannot see themselves. Didn't Ben's wife kick something? Well, that's what one of the victims said in her recording, in her interview. She said that while she was at the jail, She had met another inmate in there who said she had slept with Ben. And then, whenever she got put in jail, his wife allegedly whooped her real bad. And she was in there for like a few months. I'm so proud of the women that came forward. They were very brave. They were. You know how hard that is as a victim to come out and tell something like this, especially when you can tell that the people that you're telling, you can just feel how they're responding to you, you know? Um, I had said that I didn't think Ned liked me very much, and I shouldn't have said that. Um, I even said that he wasn't very nice to me, and I shouldn't have said that neither, because the more I think about it, my lawyer friend, who when I was wanting to go to law school told me there's two types of lawyers. You've got one who takes everything personal. They want to take every case. They just wear their heart on their sleeve, and they burn out real fast. It's just too much to take the weight of the world and the worries and cares of other people onto yourself. And so if you're not careful, it can just be very negative to your mental health. And then the other kind of lawyer became a lawyer just for the competition of it, being in a courtroom, arguing, making your argument, and competing with another person in the courtroom. And they don't get personally invested. They don't get emotionally invested. And when I was going through my situation, I thought that everybody should be just as outraged as I was. And they weren't. They weren't. So I was humbled. I've just learned through so many of these experiences. I was very idealistic and I was naive. And then through the hard lesson and letting me know that I was not special, life is not fair, and sometimes evil will attack. You just I've kind of learned over time, that sometimes you just got to learn when to bow out. Or but going back to the lawyer thing, I think that's just what kind of lawyer he is. He's a very, very good lawyer. Number one, he's a very good lawyer, but I just don't think he just didn't react the same way that I did, and so I think, and no matter how wrong it was that I was going through all that, like, I still had my heart on my sleeve with it. And I was very upset, and I wanted accountability. And, the people that don't have the ability to hire an attorney is who these kinds of abuses are happening to. They go after people who may not know anything about an appeal. They go after people who wouldn't know what to do if you did tell them about an appeal. A lot of people don't have the money to be able to hire a good attorney to fight stuff like that on your behalf, right? So you end up with a lot of uneducated and poor people who are being used and abused through the legal system in this area. And it can be related to social workers. It can be related to anything, any department that you want to go. It could be related to that way. Let's see. Hello, Elizabeth. Hello, Harold. A good friend of mine is a canine officer. It's unbelievable the amount of rugs they find regularly. Gotta love the canine pups. Yep. A rumor we had about a past sheriff was he would arrest his best supporters competition. Yeah, Patricia Allen. Allegedly, she, out of one of his, oh, I don't know. Just don't realize just how bad that stuff is. They age 10 years for one, and it eats what little brains they have left. Listen, it's awful here. Maybe all of them are exposed. Maybe made them all act like freaks. Yes, if you're new here, welcome to our channel. We love having you. Welcome, welcome, welcome. I thought it was a mixture. Oh no. Okay, so let me get back over here. All right, so on February 9th, so this would be the next day, I took an iPhone 7 and an iPhone 11 belonging to one of the victims to our office to have them downloaded. I gave Detective Eric Long with the Kentucky Attorney General's office both phones. After the download was complete, he gave me a jump drive with the information and returned both phones. The Facebook information messages did not download, although there are messages that show the victim and Deputy Fields communicated, and they will be bookmarked. The information from the phones will be listed as attachment 10 in this case file, the consent to search forms, and KSP 41 for the phones. Okay. And then the same day, February 9th, I talked to a man named Don who wanted to remain anonymous. Don had called the Letcher County Attorney's Office to report that he had information about Deputy Fields. When I spoke to Don, last name unknown, he said that he knew a woman that Deputy Fields may have had an inappropriate relationship with. Dawn said that she would be willing to talk to me if I could help her with pending charges and an active warrant. I advised him that I would not be able to make those charges or warrant go away. I told him that she could call me, and Dawn said since I could not help with her charges and warrant, then she had no reason to call me. Now, that was something that I hadn't thought of too. What if these women, some of these women that he had done this with previously, either are no longer here for whatever reason, or they've got warrants, they've got active warrants on them. Well, they're not going to be coming. And you got to remember the lifestyle that a lot of these people, these women that are in and out of the jail and are in and or on and off house arrest, which, you know, that's just kind of baffling to me too, because it looks like she had like bail jumping charges and stuff like that. And usually if you have any kind of escape or bail jumping or anything like that, they don't let you back out on it again. So that's kind of funny, isn't it? All right, let's see. On February 10th, so this would be the next day, I talked to blank again to gather some more information. I returned her phone since the downloads were completed. She again said that she would meet Mr. Fields at the courthouse before a court date in order for him to put her ankle monitor back on. After her court appearance, blank would then meet Mr. Fields again to have it removed. After she told Deputy Fields that her boyfriend had discovered their relationship, blank told Deputy Fields she needed an ankle monitor. Blank said that she had heard that blank might have had some type of relationship with Deputy Fields. In addition, blank said that Chad Brown had a video of Deputy Fields and Judge Mullins having schmecks in the judge's chambers. She said that she saw the video of Judge Mullins and an unknown female having schmecks in the judge's chambers. She said that Deputy Fields told her never to put anything on the phone you would not want someone to see. The victim said that blank might have information about Deputy Fields. She did not know the name of the company that had the ankle monitoring service, but said that she knew someone by the name of Patty that worked there. Blank said that Mr. Brown was living from place to place and that she did not have a number for him. She also said she would get me a number for blank so I could reach out to her. This is only a summary of the interview. The interview was audio recorded and will be listed. All right, so February 11th, so this would be the following day. I talked to blank and scheduled a date to meet her in order to gather more information. On the 14th, Detective Shannon Blevins and I talked to blank, said that she was on house arrest when she began talking to Deputy Fields. She said that began in December of 2021. Deputy Fields had her on a display ankle monitor. She stated that she had the display monitor because he was not making her pay the monitoring fee and letting her go anywhere she wanted. She went on to say that the judge told her to go see Deputy Fields in order to get the ankle monitor activated. The victim said that she was supposed to stay home and not get high, although she did not do either of those things since he was not monitoring her. She went on to say that he started by being friendly. Then, as time progressed, he became more friendly. She said that Deputy Fields would send her messages on Facebook and Snapchat. Blank said it started when Deputy Fields told her that she was looking good, and she told him that he looked good in a uniform. She said from that point forward, their relationship escalated. She said that she had met Mr. Fields at the courthouse, and she explained that she was having problems with paying the monitoring fee. He told her not to worry about it. See, it seems to me like the way that this officer has completely colored this investigation was that they had some kind of a flirtation, and then this relationship developed, and that while they were having this relationship, he was just kind of helping her out, not making her pay the fee. Well, that's not exactly the way that I took what they said. What do you guys think? The way that one of them said, she was very adamant, she was very clear. She said that he propositioned her when she got out of jail, saying, if you ever have trouble paying your fee, let me know and we can work something out. And she said no. Didn't sound to me like that she said they were being friendly and that they were flirting and they started a relationship. How's that right? See what y'all are saying over here. It's crazy. I'd imagine they'll come out with some lame excuse, though. Well, they don't even come out with an excuse. They don't even come out with an excuse. Like, If Mickey had not went in there and unalived the judge, none of this stuff would have even come out. We wouldn't be reading any of this. People might would have had it. People might would have put in a FOIA request for it. But who would have cared? Nobody would have cared. Nobody would have even known what we were talking about. But because Mickey and Kevin situation, it has put so many eyeballs onto that story that it's kind of making people interested in the deep dive here. But, it don't look to me like the Kentucky Attorney General's office has any qualms whatsoever with how they conducted that investigation. California, 71 people. Please smash the like. It's free. That's right. Let's see. I guarantee this all goes back 20 years. Oh, it goes back a lot farther than that, I bet you, just with different people. They say when you cut the head off of a snake, another one just takes its place. If there are words in paperwork that's not in audio, then what can a person do about that? Right? Well, nothing. It says it's not a complete, it's just a summary of the audio. Has anyone looked at political donations to the various players? I haven't. So that would be very interesting information. What do the lip readers say happened between judge and sheriff? I'm here for it. Love this show. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you for being here. All right. Let's see. She said that Deputy Fields would send her messages. Okay. He told her not to worry about it. She said that she would be allowed to go anywhere she wanted to, and Deputy Fields did not care. Blank said that Deputy Fields sent her a Snapchat message saying he wanted to bend her over and have schmecks with her. The victim said that she sent a smiley face back to him. She said that she would go to the courthouse so it would look like she was paying Deputy Fields her fees. Deputy Fields told her that Patty Stockham wanted to revoke her, but Deputy Fields said that he was not going to, and he gave her a display monitor. He said if she ever was pulled over, to call him. She recalled one instance where she was paying the ankle monitor fee and the monitor battery died. On August 5th, 2021, Blank called Deputy Fields and he came, got her, and took her to jail. On their way to jail, he opened up the partition between the seats and asked her to lean up, and he aggressively kissed her. Blank said on one other occasion in June of 2020, she met Deputy Fields at the courthouse, and he kissed her and picked her up by her buttocks. The victim also said he rubbed his hand across her vajayjay on the outside of her pants. She said this was not a mutual kiss, but she did not tell him to stop. The victim said that she did send sexual messages to Deputy Fields. She said that he was always in uniform when they met. The victim said that they did not have sexual intercourse and she did not touch him. She said that she would not have had any relationship with him if this had been under different circumstances. The victim said that the reason she was given a display monitor was because she talked dirty back to him. This interview was audio recorded and will be attached to this case. On February 14th, Detective Blevins and I talked to Ben Fields. Mr. Fields met us at a restaurant in Whitesburg and got into our vehicle. Now, what do you guys think? Before I even read this, let me pull this comment off so you guys can read it. What do you guys think he's going to write in here? Do you think he's going to say that he lied for the first 30 minutes of the interview? Or do you think he's going to say something else? I explained to Mr. Fields that he did not have to talk to me and he was not under arrest. I asked Mr. Fields to explain what his job duties were. He said that he was a paid court security officer and worked for East Kentucky Corrections Services, Inc., which monitors individuals on house arrest. Mr. Fields said that Patty Stockham was the owner of the company. See, I didn't hear that in the recording. So we're going to learn some stuff here. He explained to me that individuals on house arrest would pay him a $150 hookup fee that would cover the first 7 days of monitoring and $85 every week after that. That's a lot of money. And you times that by each person that's on house arrest. So the more people you put on house arrest, the more money you're going to make. Mr. Fields then would deposit the money into the company's bank account, and the company would pay him once a month. Mr. Fields said as a court security officer, he had arrested individuals outside of the courthouse. He said that part of his duties for East Kentucky Corrections Services, Inc. was taking on and off the ankle monitors. He said that Patty would tell him if someone had violated the house arrest, and he would then tell the judge. Individuals on house arrest would check in with him on Wednesday, Thursday, and Friday for him to check the monitor and for them to pay their fees. He said in some instances he would administer drug tests and then inform the judge what the results were. Mr. Fields would have them meet him at the courthouse or jail. He would use his personal cell phone to communicate with the individuals on house arrest via Facebook Messenger and texts. Mr. Fields went on to say that he started with the sheriff's office in January of 2019, and he started working for the East Kentucky Corrections Service around the middle of December 2018. So that would be like a month apart. Mr. Fields said that the Letcher County Sheriff Mickey Stines was his supervisor as a court security officer and that he attended a 2-week training in Richmond at DOCJT. Mr. Fields went on to say that he did not have any formal training for East Kentucky Corrections Service. He also said he signed a policy and procedure manual form for the sheriff's office, but did not have to for East Kentucky Corrections Service. I then asked Mr. Fields to tell me about his relationship with blank. Mr. Fields said that she wanted to go to rehab, but the courts would not take her off house arrest. Now, see, that doesn't even make any sense. That doesn't even make any sense. Anybody that's from here that knows Judge Jimmy Kraft and his court, his drug court and stuff, if a defendant had a bed and he was going to send them to rehab, I mean, he would let them go. He would take them off the house arrest and he would let them go. Or at least that's what I think he would do. I don't see, I mean, that's their bread and butter is rehab, you know. So I just don't see this part even being true. But she wanted to go to rehab and she had a bed, but the judge said, no, you have to stay on house arrest. I mean, maybe he did. Maybe she's got so many instances of going to rehab that and left. She could have left a whole bunch of times. And so the judge was like, no, I'm not falling for that again. Who knows? We don't know the context of that. But it just doesn't sound right to me. It sounds like an excuse that he's made up. Let's see. Mr. Fields said that he wanted her to do better. So he deactivated her monitor so she could go to rehab. I mean, so you are taking it upon yourself to overdo what the judges said. I mean, that's really egotistical, ain't it? To think that you know better than the judge. Mr. Fields said she stayed a few weeks and left. He said that he knew he messed up and should not have deactivated the monitor without the court's permission. He went on to say there were a lot of messages, flirting, and inappropriate conversations with the victim. I asked Mr. Fields if he had ever had sex with her, and he said no. After talking to Mr. Fields a little more, he said that he knew deactivating her monitor was not right, and he felt like that was a crime. He later admitted that he did have sexual intercourse with her once in the bathroom at the courthouse. But just once, man. Just once. Just one time. He explained that he removed the ankle monitor from her since it was deactivated, but gave her a monitor to keep so she would not get in trouble. Mr. Fields explained further that her boyfriend obtained an EPO on her, so blank wanted a monitor. I asked him if he had ever had to put one on her before court, and he said he could not remember. Then later clarified and said he had once, just one time. Mr. Fields said that he communicated with the victim by phone, text, Facebook Messenger. He said that he deleted everything he had on his phone and his Facebook account in reference to her. Well, yeah, he was married. He was hiding the evidence so he didn't get it at home by Mama Bear. I asked him if he had flirted with any other women on house arrest, and he said yes. Mr. Fields said that he had inappropriate messages that were sexual in nature with blank, but did not have sex with her. Because we can believe anything that you say, right? You've been so honest. I asked him about the escape charge on the victim. He said that Judge Kraft started questioning how she could have the EPO when she was on house arrest. So, remember, if you weren't here with us at that part of the recording, so this girl had left and went to her boyfriend's house, and they had an altercation, and then the boyfriend went and got an EPO on her. Well, she was supposed to be on house arrest, but Ben didn't have her ankle monitor on. So Judge Kraft starts asking the deputy, go check her GPS and see if she had left her house to get this EPO. And he didn't have the data. He couldn't go back and look at it and so Judge, according to the interview, the judge says, well, go look at it, and if she violated, file an escape on her. Well, he went and looked, but he couldn't say if she violated or not because he didn't have the data. He didn't have a monitor turned on for her. So he goes ahead and files the escape charge anyway, because in his mind, according to him, he had to get her back in so he could put a monitor on her. So, I mean, he was doing all kinds of craziness. Let's see. He said, Judge Kraft brought up that if she left her house, that would violate her house arrest. He said that Judge Kraft wanted him to check to see if she had left and if she had violated the house arrest to charge her with escape. Mr. Fields said since the monitor was off, he could not prove if she violated her house arrest. I asked him why there was a warrant issued, and he said to try to fix everything. I asked him what he was trying to fix, and he said where he deactivated her monitor. I asked him why he did not have her meet him instead of getting the warrant, and Mr. Fields said that he was afraid if he forced it upon her, she may tell about their sexual relationship. Well, isn't that contradicting what he just said? The warrant forces it on her. The cop is asking him, why didn't you just call her? Why didn't you just call her and say, hey, I need you to meet me so I can get this on here? But no, he didn't do that. He goes and files the escape charge. And his response here, and see, this is what irks me, because these cops let this happen. I noticed it in the recording. When he would answer a question with something that wasn't an answer to the question, they just kind of moved on past it. So Mr. Fields said that he was afraid if he forced it upon her, she may tell about their sexual relationship. Well, you did force it upon her. The warrant. So I just wanted to point that out. It's contradicting. Mr. Fields said that he did not know the victim prior to her being placed on house arrest. He went on to say that he probably would have not met her if she had not been on house arrest. I asked him again if what he had just discussed was his truthful statement and was free and willing, and he said yes. He said that he did wrong, but did not forcibly R her. He said Ms. Stockham did not have any knowledge of what went on. Mr. Fields said the house arrest job was separate from the sheriff's office, even though he was in uniform when he met the individuals, and even though he was arresting them, filing warrants for them. I don't think somebody who just has a part-time job at a ankle monitor whose duties it is to fit the ankle monitor on and off. Well, if that's all their job was and they weren't working as a deputy, I don't think they would be arresting people unless, I don't know. I don't know how it works. But I do know that they would have a lot better policies and procedures than this. Sorry, excuse for. And it looks to me like he had a gravy boat, didn't he? Of a job. He had the best job around. Both of them. Good jobs. I bet they had plenty of money. I bet they had a nice home. I bet they were living the life. And you risked it all and threw it all away for what? For what? These weren't beauty queens. It wasn't a forbidden romance. Unbelievable. Miss Samantha says, I think he's a womanizer. Well, he was running his own, like, letting them out of jail. And then, well, I mean, it just looks to me like sex trafficking. So you're going to let them out of jail, but you're going to put all these restrictions on them. Like they're calling them every day, making sure that they call you and let you know if they need to do anything, or because that's what one of those girls said, that he was calling her every day, harassing her. If there's words in paperwork that's not an audio, I think I've went up too far. Oh, Love Bug. Thank you, Love Bug. Let me go up there and put you in. Thank you. We do, if you're not been here before, the highest super sticker and super chat makes you our stream sponsor. And if somebody goes in over you, then they take over the stream sponsor spot. Just some little way that we show our appreciation. Thank you. All right, let's see. Let me go back over here. All right. Extreme Blonde. Love Bug, you're doing a great job as a mod. Yes. Thank you. Show her some love, y'all. This Letcher County drama is really ugly. Yep, it sure is. This is just a fraction of it. There's add-on wording in the paperwork. There's nothing that anybody can do, because it says on the end of it that this was just a summary of the interview, and they've got the interviews added in. They've got the audio recordings added in as evidence. So, and they may have said it where we didn't hear it. I don't know. Hello, Mert. Ugh, these men are so disgusting. I hear you folks have a problem with math labs. Yep. Could not clean this mess with snow shovels and 55-gallon drums. No. My dogs are out there going nuts because my neighbor's dogs come up and get on my porch. Starving, always. And I have to feed, I end up feeding like 8 dogs, including mine. And dog food's expensive, man. Wait. In most judicial rug testing, the test must be directly observed. Was a male observing a female? That's kind of a no-no. Yeah, I'm not sure exactly how he was doing that, but they asked him and he said yes, that he would request them. But I don't see, if he was conducting himself this way, I don't see him saying, hey, would you care to take a test for me? You don't have to, but I'd appreciate it if you'd take a test for me. He was kind of making it all sweet and soft and innocent when he was trying to tell it to those investigators. But I know how they are, and I know how their attitudes are, and how mean and they're very domineering. They're very intimidating when they're trying to be powerful and all. Controlling. And so I would say that he probably, allegedly, I would say that he probably used that as a threat as a form of intimidation, to intimidate these women. That all he has to do is tell the judge. All he has to do is tell the judge. Does Kentucky state law allow this type of moonlighting by law enforcement? It seems like a conflict of interest and ethics violations. It sure does. It sure does. I live in Crook County. No math labs here, just gangs and pew-pews. The laws here are terrible, Mama Duck. What if he's still doing the monitor thing? I think they fired him. I think he's been fired. I don't think the labs are here anymore, but more cartel rugs are. There for a long time, the opioid crisis was really what hit this area really bad. Prescription medications. And we almost got a handle on all that. So they had medically assisted treatment that has helped a whole lot of people. They've had, and whether people like it or not, it's just a fact that a whole lot of people did very well with medically assisted treatment. It allowed people to get their lives back on track. It allowed people to put their family's life back together. It allowed them to function, and it allowed them to be productive. Now, just because they were not able to do it through abstinence does not make their recovery any less successful. But there is, unfortunately, a divide in recovery. A lot of times, people who are through the abstinent part, who just cold turkey, they quit, they don't take anything, they didn't need anything. Well, God bless them. But not everybody's that way. And there, for a long time, like whenever I was working as a substance abuse counselor, I noticed that people who recovered through abstinence really resented. They seemed to have a deep resentment towards people who used medically assisted treatment. Like, oh, it's just trading one for the other, for another, and da da da. Well, okay, well, it doesn't matter if their recovery, if they were able to recover, if they were able to start functioning, if they were able to, like I said, put themselves back together again, then who am I to say anything about that, right? Recovery is for all, and it's going to look different for everybody. We've all got different backgrounds. We've all got different support systems, and those kind of things matter. They really matter. And then once people started kind of healing from that crisis, then we saw the entrance of the math. I can remember seeing people, you'd just drive down the road and you'd see them walking on the highway shaking a pop bottle like this. They would make math in a bottle. And I don't know how, but they shake it. And a lot of that was back when it first started entering this area. And it's just kind of progressed since then. And now it's everywhere. People were making it in their bathtubs and stuff like that. But now I don't see as much of the homemade stuff that people are making like that, like they used to. I don't see so much of that anymore as I do now. It's all the F word, the stuff that's unaliving people. You have that here now. And we're usually the last place to get any of that stuff. But all of it's here now. It's finally all come here. And we've had several people pass away from those things, from those substances now. Let's see, Christy A. Painter's daughter. I'm sorry, late. That's okay, Annie. Glad you're here. Lots of F word overdoses last couple years. Yep. Yep. There sure are. And from what I understand, a lot of it is coming up through our southern border, and it's just it's a lot of weight. They're moving a whole lot of weight into the country. And I mean, what a better way to do it, to disguise it for people so they're willingly taking something that's going to take their life. I mean, it's just so sad. I think usually there would be a field tech who installs and removes the monitors and maybe does maintenance, but a different person. Maybe. But if it's just an ankle monitor that just fits on their ankle, F word overdoses have inclined. I think Trump made it an act of terrorism if caught with a certain amount. That's interesting. I hadn't heard that. I'm so late, but I'm jumping in, and we'll go back to the beginning when the live is over. Hello, Winky Wonder. Welcome, welcome, welcome. I'm talking about war with cartels as well. When? No idea. Scary. Why didn't the women report him? Well, apparently, okay, that was something else I wanted to point out. In this report, we've already read it. He says that he reached out to Edison Banks, who is the Commonwealth attorney. He's the one who just passed away. He's the one who dealt with felonies and all that. In the report, Easter wrote that Edison Banks said he had also been hearing complaints about relationships that he was having, that Ben Fields was having. And then he said you need to reach out to Michael Watts. I think he has some information for you. Well, Michael was an assistant Commonwealth attorney, and he was also an assistant county attorney. So he had his hands in the downstairs court with Judge Mullins, and he also had his hands in the upstairs court with Judge Kraft, with Edison Banks. So he said he had some information for him. He might have some information for him. So then it says he contacts Michael, and Michael says, well, I don't know anything, but you might want to talk to our jailer. Our jailer might have some information for you. And then, but we've been here, but I've been aware of the complaints. I think something like that, he said. Then he reached out to the jail. Okay, so if all of these people were aware of what the detective was even contacting them about, if they had already heard the rumors or the complaints, so this was already in their wheelhouse, they just hadn't done anything about it because they obviously did not call or contact the Attorney General's office. It was this lawyer for one of the victims who filed that initial complaint in January. It was the very first form that we started looking at on this video. That was the complaint that started this investigation. You didn't have Edison Banks sending it in. You don't have Michael Watts sending it in. You don't have the jailer sending it in. And you didn't have Mickey Stines sending it in. But they were all aware of the complaints, that these accusations were being made. So I think that's very telling. How about questioning everyone in the courthouse for naughty? Yeah. Did they even, which, nobody's going to tell, well, not nobody, but you know they weren't going to tell the truth. Like if they had went in there and asked the judge if he was aware of that, you know he's not going to say yes. You know he's not going to. Usually a field tech installs, removes, and does maintenance on the devices. Someone with access or monitoring the system would turn the device on and off or change the required zones. All this only scratches the surface. It sounds like the good old boys club, and they like it that way. Absolutely. Absolutely. And, you know, I'm almost 50 years old, you guys. I'm 48. I have been on this earth long enough to be able to tell if somebody likes me or not. You know, I'm able to feel that, you know. You can tell if people are warming up to you or if they're chit chatty with you, you know, or if they're not. And I've always gotten along with people. I've always made friends very easily. And I'm always kind of thrown off whenever I'm trying to interact with somebody and they're just all stank faced and, you know, nasty. And that was kind of how I always felt responded to with certain people down in that circle of the boys club. And I always wondered why, like what, and you know, not everybody's going to like you, of course, and that's perfectly fine. But when people act that way, there's usually a reason. And sometimes we feel like it's our fault. Like, what did I do? What did I do? Look at this situation. It ain't nothing nobody did. Some people are just awful human beings. Nobody would have ever expected that this kind of stuff was going on. Nobody would have ever expected that. Or this. I mean, you know, you've got rumors and conspiracy theories and stuff like that. Who would have ever dreamed that it was true? You know, that this stuff was actually happening. Nobody would ever believe the sheriff would actually walk in a courthouse and unalive a judge. You know, nobody would ever believe that a deputy would be given so much power and so much freedom by an entire county court system and sheriff's department to where he could be doing these kinds of things. He wasn't trained in any way, shape, or form. He didn't even sign a book saying a policy book. He wasn't given any of that. And it doesn't look like he had any supervision whatsoever. He was just given free rein to terrorize anybody that he wanted to that was on this house arrest system. It's unbelievable. Used to drink a lot and go to jail. I know what went on there then. Yeah, I wasn't always an angel either. Letcher County Courthouse is a den of copperheads. Yep, it sure is. And they'll eat their own young, honey. They will eat their own young. Yep. And that, you know what we just read there a second ago? That he sent her that text, that message that said, I wanted to bend you blankety blank. And she just sent him a smiley face emoji. Well, what do you think you'd say back? You know, and this is the supervisor that's over your freedom. I mean, that's putting you in a very bad position. And you're exactly right. It's no different like employment through an employer. You're going to be scared to say no. And the way that investigator wrote these notes, wrote these reports, and we could tell that that's how he was going to do it just by the way that he was responding and trying to guide the conversation in those interviews with those women. He continued to frame the entire thing around a consensual relationship, a budding romance between them. It just absolutely makes me sick. He got paid to have schmecks. That's right. And terrorize and control and falsely imprison. I mean, these people had their own jail, their own lockup, their own, like, they were in complete control. His wife was a sergeant at the jail, so they had total and complete access to the women while they were in the jail. They had access to them out on house arrest. Just unreal. And nobody caught on. Like, nobody knew that any of this was happening. And in that report, sorry, I'm tongue-tied, it also stated that he said, if you ever get pulled over, call me. Well, what's that say to you? If you ever get pulled over, call me so I can talk to the cop and make sure that they let you go. I mean, I don't know. I'm just speculating, of course. But that's what that sounds like to me. The victim said that when she got out here, he showed up to her house with all the Whitesburg City, ambulance, Mickey. He showed up with the entire cavalry to intimidate her, to show her that all he had to do, he had all these people that would come with him and back him up. I mean, it's a wonder that we don't have, and we still have some unsolved red rums here in Letcher County. And I just wonder if Patricia Dethridge, who was the daughter of the unsolved red rums, she was unalived, and then 6 months later, her mother was unalived. And they all lived in that same area where they're all from, where Ben's from. And I just wonder if Patricia Dethridge was ever on house arrest. We know she was in jail. I wonder if she was on house arrest. He threw it all away for some Kentucky cooter. Yeah, like I said, these were women who were they were on the bottom, rock bottom. These were not people who, had their makeup on every day and had themselves together. Like, that's what you threw your life away for? You threw your entire career, reputation, everything away for what? "55 now and know it's all crooked. Walking the line for 15 years and proudly." Yep, me too, honey. Me too. I've had myself together for the last 15 years. Praise God. And it was all only by the grace of God. Only by the grace of God. Because I sure did not do it myself. If Patty didn't know, then why was she recommending him to violate her? That makes no sense. Yeah, and you'd think that they would realize that, okay, so this week we've had this many people on monitors this week. So this should be the amount of money that we have deposited this week. So, and he even said it has to be paid. So was he paying it out of his pocket? Or no, that's why he was deactivating them. Because if he kept them activated, then they would have to pay the fee. But if he deactivated them and just changed their conditions, lie and change and tell them that the court changed their conditions, then the money wouldn't have to be there. I mean, he was playing a very, I was going to say a dangerous game, but it really wasn't very dangerous for him. He was getting away with it all. He wasn't getting caught by nobody that should have caught him. He got caught because the victims courageously spoke out and finally got somebody to listen to him. I'm sure it probably wasn't the first and only time they ever tried to tell anybody. But look at how many people had the opportunity to at least suspect something wasn't right. And they did nothing. They did nothing. They closed a blind eye and they allowed it to continue. Insane. 233 in our chat. Glad you're all here with us. Yes, yes, yes. Anything in my defense is not with that bunch. Monitoring done correctly can show if a person is in motion, direction of travel, and even speed. No need to call the monitor participant unless they go out of their zone. If you're a good old boy, you be all right here. That's true, whimsical. Actually, in some cases, you can even tell what room of a building someone is in. That's fascinating. Fields is as sleazy as they come. Oh my gosh, he needs to be fully investigated by someone who doesn't have interest in this county. Yeah. Hi. Come home from basketball. Did you win? I can't see on. Oh. He got a hole in his sock. Chill till the time not to be. At the game?
No, not that way.
Oh. Right, William Collins. Provoking is a tactic used by many. Believe that.
Hayden Anderson had my phone, and he's home.
Okay. Okay.
I need it.
Okay. We'll talk about it after. People in authority love provoking and getting others against someone. And some no authority. All kinds out there. He did a rug screen. A positive would have to be lab confirmed. Did he send those tests to a lab? Not why, Lordy, no. He said that he was just using little dip tests. And I don't see how he could even be doing like rug testing on anybody. That wouldn't be his job. He used it as a threat. I'm going to tell the judge. Yes, Brandy the Bomb. All right. I love it. All the little fish in a pond full of sharks. Sherry A. But that cop didn't think he was. That cop said, I don't think you did that. I don't think you did that. I just cannot get over how that cop did, how that detective did. Funding the cartel is more than enough reason for them to quit, stop, or turn around. One phone call and I'm way behind. Oh, no, you ain't, honey. No, you ain't. I've just been rambling. Plenty of F word, H word, and math in Letcher County, no matter where it comes from. Yep. Wasn't Judge Mullins getting praised for doing the program? Yeah. Everybody praised them all, patted them all on the back. But this is my thing. Okay, so I would love to know just how many people they sent to rehab from the district court. Drug court is in the upstairs court. Drug court is in the felony court. Okay, so that's the one that they have drug court. They have all these staff for it, and they come in and they're tested on certain days, and they have to check in, and it's a whole big program. And they have steps, graduations, and all kinds of stuff from that drug court. The program that Judge Mullins was over, it was called the Senate 90 bill. And it was just a program where they were sending low-level rug offenses, people who were charged with low-level rug offenses, were being allowed to go to like an inpatient rehab, like a 30-day or 6-month, whatever. But they would go into these inpatient rehabs, and then they would have the chance to have their charges dismissed or lowered, or something to that effect. And so that was what Judge Mullins was doing. But remember, this is also the same program that ARC, the rehab, is being investigated by the FBI for Medicaid fraud. So you have, yes, say yes, Alan, and go away. I'm busy. Sorry. So the program that Judge Mullins was doing was sending a whole lot of people off to rehab, and they were charging their Medicaid, because a lot of people had Medicaid. So they were being charged, their insurance was being charged for these 30-day rehab centers. And Alan, please.
She said, where are you?
Okay, home. Please go away while I'm doing this. I can't. You're making me not be able to concentrate on what I'm saying. Children, I'm sorry.
Come on, we're done here.
So, my whole point to this is, so if you're sending 2,000 people, say, in a year, I don't know. I have no idea how many. 500 people, if that number's too high. So if you've got 500 people going to rehab and you've only got 5, because that's what he said in the interview, the Shaping Our Appalachian Region, that is the SOAR organization. And it's not, I said it was a little organization in another video, but it's not. It's a huge organization. And it was founded with the state representative, Hal Rogers. It's a big money and power organization, really. But he said in an interview with them that they only had 5 people that had come out, but he was toting it as a positive thing. But I didn't necessarily see it that way. He said they only had 5 people that had come through these rehabs and through these programs who were doing good, who had jobs, who were working and living in the community. That's not very high. And we know that the failure rate, the success rate, I should say, is very low when it comes to rehab, inpatient rehab. So, and we've really had more success with the MAT programs than we have with the rehabs. But so you have that whole the FBI investigation into the Medicare fraud that factors into all of this too. Follow the money, y'all. Follow the money. I think the F is everywhere and it's dangerous. I kind of got behind on her comments here. I found Elizabeth to be the best source of information for this case. Well, thanks. I've been binge watching since I heard of her. Thanks to Gavin. Well, great. Great. Shake and bake back there a bit. I'm way behind on her comments, and I'm so sorry. Is he still in jail? I think you're talking about Ben. No. Ben got 6 months in jail. And according to a former jail employee, they let him come in, gave him a cell all to himself, and bought him a brand new mattress and brought a big TV and put in there in his cell for him. And they let his wife go in there and hang out with him. How is that for special treatment? Stank-faced. We got a lot of stank faces around here. Extreme blonde. Nothing more but more trouble for them if they spoke up. Yeah, and just like that one, he put it in his report there. Somebody reached out to him to tell him, but they weren't willing to help with their active warrant. Well, they're not going to come in and go to jail for you if you're not going to help them. That just goes to show you how many times do they help people with current charges and stuff like that when they want their testimony, when they need their cooperation. They didn't want the cooperation. Yay! All right, they kind of live up to their name, don't they? This scheme is all too common. All you need is the judge, a law enforcement officer, and the county attorney, and you can set up a Smex ring easily. A bad position for most, but these fools with authority took their position to a whole different level of misogyny. I agree. This is creepy, like the case in Kentucky that involved the FBI guy. Yep. And I've got a whole video of that ready to rock and roll. We just kind of keep getting distracted with this one. But I'm going to do the FBI guy. I've got everything ready for it. He had a captive audience, so to speak. Different treatment for men or women. Yeah, that's what I said. I'd love to know how many men were registered on house arrest. I'd like to see all the numbers from the time that they started it to now. I'd like to see what the ratio of men versus women monthly was. I'd love to be able to see that information. This is like the basement of the pawn shop in Pulp Fiction. I've been griping about incidents happening here, and today we lost one of our good deputies in the line of duty. I'm sorry, honey. That's so sad. My condolences. to their families and the community. I live in a small town and county in North Carolina, and people are. Will you bring me my pop that you just took from me, please? I live in a small town and county in North Carolina, and people are tied together and protected very much the same way. Yeah, different. It's all the same, just different geography. It's not an attraction thing. It's a sickening power thing. That's not what I had sitting there. If anyone thinks something similar isn't happening all over this country, is naive. Corruption is everywhere. Thank you, bub. This can't be the only place that functions this way. You know it happens more than we all realize. Yeah. Yeah, and nobody wants to speak up because who's going to listen? You just kind of get used to however you have to live. People just adapt and survive. Sounds like he really did have a rocket in his pocket. Ah! I almost guarantee this had happened so many times and nobody thought they were throwing anything away because they never thought they would have to face anything. You hit that right on the head. That's exactly right. They never thought they would have to face anything. This was just the normal, everyday goings on. We just found out that our sheriff has been taking prisoners to his ranch to work on his property, mowing, clearing, etc., and he didn't pay them. Well, we've got a work release program at our jail too, and that's what basically all they do is they take them out and they mow and cut weeds, and they do stuff all over the county. It wouldn't surprise me one bit if they were doing stuff like that. Look up the scheme they had going in Portsmouth, Ohio. Very similar, but no judge got unalived. Yeah. Let's see. A dip test for what? A rug test. The cop asked him how he was testing. He asked him if he ever gave them drug tests, and he said yeah. And he asked him how he did it, and he said we just used the dip test, so it'd be like a urine screen. How many judges work out of that courthouse? Only 2. You had Judge Mullins, who did the district court, and then you had Judge Kraft, who was felony circuit court. His was upstairs. You only had 2 courtrooms. You had the district courtroom downstairs, and you had the circuit courtroom upstairs. Yes, hit the like and subscribe. He was and is a criminal and got paid for it. You can believe that. 6 months in jail has not cured him. It won't be long. He'll be back doing the same thing to women. And his uncle was charged. He wasn't charged in this case. They didn't charge him with anything related to this. It was like the following year, he got charged with messing with a 14-year-old girl. And he was the fire chief. So he had a high position himself. And they kept him and Ben said that he could help them with their charges. So as a fire chief, exactly who was he close enough to help people with their charges? I would like to know that answer to that question. Who was his connection at the courthouse that he could actually help people with charges? That's what I'd like to know. Because they never did say that part. Yep. Now that we have Stein's case and possibly ultimately a trial, will there be more investigating? And if yes, by which investigating body? Don't trust the AG's office. I don't think so, Janet. All of this stuff that we're looking at here, Ben Fields' case has been closed. It is finalized. His sentence, he's been sentenced. He's already served his 6 months in jail. And now he has 5 years supervised probation and then 2 years unsupervised probation after that. And they've never said one word about any other higher ups. So the Stines, Mickey and Kevin, they have the video of him pew-pewing him 8 times. That's all they need. That's really all they need. If they do continue this trial in Letcher County and it stays here, if they don't reach out for a change of venue and they keep it here, it's a 50-50 chance of him getting a Mickey supporting jury or a non-Mickey supporting jury. So I'll be surprised if it goes to trial. If they don't make an agreement of some kind of a plea agreement. But I would absolutely love to see a trial. I would love to see a trial, and I would love to see Mickey Stines testify. What really gets me is the same people in positions of power doing dirty deeds are often in churches, passing judgment and preaching to people about how to live, also making deals with one another. Well, honey, their best friend apparently was a big preacher. And the preacher, after this happened, after Mickey did what he did, the preacher got out of Dodge. He resigned his position at the rehab and said that he found him a better job and he took a different job. So I think the roaches have all scattered. I think he said they put 500 or more in. Hi. Yeah, I told you one would be here. Put 500 or more in the program. Hi there, buddy. And 5 graduated and became productive citizens. Did you listen to that interview too? Well, that's still, that's a lot of money. If they're spending $30,000, if that's what they're charging the Medicaid, which that's what I heard. One of my sources was sent to rehab, and they said that they were charging the insurance $1,000 a day, allegedly. And so a 30-day stay at an inpatient ARC facility, allegedly, they're charging a $30,000 cost to people's Medicaid insurance. Well, think how many people they're running through there and how much money ARC is making. And there has to be some incentive, you know what I'm saying, to send them. And that's why all these people are such big buddies. We don't know how deep this really goes. And if you've got one yahoo that's getting ready to blow the top off of everything, because he couldn't keep his pants zipped up. There could be a whole lot worse crimes going on here that Ben's actions may have shown some light on. People might be getting really scared. The changing color roadside rug tests and any strip tests are generally highly inaccurate. Very high false test rates. Yeah. That's how it is here big time with churches, law enforcement, and contracts with our county and schools. It's all entangled, and so many are not who they proclaim. That's exactly right. Miss DC, you are exactly right. There was a big old hubbub here back last year, or maybe it was back in the summer or something. LCC, the Letcher County School Board, went out and bought an $80,000 SUV so they could take small groups to competitions and stuff instead of using school buses. And people were really upset because, we don't even have metal detectors in our school. And they won't put them in because they say they're way too expensive. But yet you can go spend $80,000 on a big SUV. It was a big controversy here for a little while. But they kept their SUV, so it didn't matter how upset people got. They still kept it. If more Ben's victims can come forward, there is more prison time in his future. I know it's a hard thing to do, though, for the women. Yeah. Yep. Let's face it, you can't get someone off rugs until they want off. That's exactly right. Yep, that's exactly right. Because think about it. You send them off to a 30-day rehab. And how often does this happen? As soon as they might do great while they're there, but they're in a controlled environment. As soon as they leave there and they go home, they're often, more times than not, they're going right back into the exact same environment that they just left from, right? Where they usually, or well, I don't say usually, but where they often don't have any support, or there's users in the same place that they had just left. So when you're sober and trying to go back into a house full of users, that doesn't usually bode very well. And there's just a ton of factors involved. We have a high school in our county. We had a principal there suddenly leave in the middle of the year and became principal of alternative school. He was caught with a lab while principal at the alternative school. I guess the ex-deputy still needed his conjugal visits. Yep. I think that's what they were implying whenever they told me that she was allowed to go in there and they were allowed to spend time together. Could we start a Discord and start working on information requests? I'd help you. Absolutely. Yes. I am going to start a Discord. I'm new to all that stuff. Somebody told me the other day that I needed to do that. So, yes, that's what we're going to do. I'm just a one-man show, so any help anybody can give me, I'm all for it. Send me an email, hillbillycrime@gmail.com. This man needs to be in a real prison. He's going to victimize again. Hi, Elizabeth and fellow hillbillies. Hello, Miss Julie. Glad you're here. There are so many women who have been locked up who could tell you what it took to get out of jail free. I've heard a few stories. I wonder if someone will talk to these former prisoners. Sherry A, a new member. Yay! Yes, welcome. They aren't supposed to be free long care service, but we didn't have them as a rule, so the county attorney says we need to. I agree. They should not be used as free long care service. Yay! Another YouTube member. Welcome, Dee. Welcome. Yes, Mama Duck. 14. She was 14 years old. And the way that he behaved, and this was Bill Meade that we're talking about. This is Ben's uncle that was accused, convicted, and sentenced as a SMEX offender now. When his case was going through the court system, he was let out on bond or whatever. And he's an old man, like he's in his 70s or something. He's old enough to know better. Whenever it was time for his trial, he just didn't even show up to court. It seemed like he was so mad that he was being charged. You know, after all these years, he's probably been behaving this way. And everybody's turned the blind eye. Nobody's ever challenged him. Nobody's ever confronted him on his dirty old manness. And he finally gets charged after his nephew gets caught. And so I'm sure he was just upset. And whenever they did have to go, because they issued a bench warrant for him when he didn't show up for court. So they went out and got him, and they drug him to court. He goes on trial, and he gets up on the or wherever he was sitting, and he starts talking, and he says that he forgives them all for convicting an innocent man, but yet they had a video. They had a recording. They had a recording on him. I think. I forget. We read the article the other day. But it just, 14 years old. And then you've got the Patrick Little case, who didn't even get 6 months in jail for messing with a child under the age of 12 and another child under the age of 16. He's a prominent businessman in this area, and he's friends with all the prosecutors and the defense attorneys down there in Whitesburg. He's all big buddies with them. And he got a recommended sentence by our prosecutors. And he didn't spend one day in jail. Not one. He got sentenced to 5 years. But they said that they wanted him to serve his 5 years. I've never heard of this before. I have on misdemeanors, but not on felonies. Not on something that he should be in prison for. They gave him 5 years house arrest and work release. They really did that. Our Letcher County prosecutors, after this, it even happened after this scandal broke. They still had enough nerve to recommend a sentence for a editor that starts with a P. I just don't want to get demonetized. I can't afford it. Over 200 likes, girl. Yay. District attorney, did he help with the charges? That Mickey was doing the same stuff. I don't think there's any evidence of anybody. I don't think they have any evidence of anything other than Ben. Because they haven't looked, probably. You know that they've done search warrants on the judge's phone. You know they've done search warrants on Mickey's phone. But don't the search warrants have to be for a certain thing? So are they going to go back, and if they find anything related to this stuff, will they, are they even going to let it come out? Now, they have to turn over any evidence or anything that would be in Mickey's favor, right? So Mickey's lawyers, they are going to be able to get the discovery. They couldn't ask for it or get it anything prior to the indictment. They had to have this moved up into circuit court and have him indicted before they could have access to any kind of discovery. So I don't know. It'll just be fascinating to see how it all plays out. I was surprised that it's come out this far. So I'll be really surprised if anything else comes out, which we're all digging. We're all hoping for it. There has to be more to this investigation than this. They are still covering up. Miss Patty is 71 and moved from Pikeville to South Shore in 2018. She is the sole agent for profit company with less than 100 shares and 1 to 19 employees and provides miscellaneous services. Very, very good to know. Thank you. If Mickey does not plead out, a trial can expose all the corruption. It absolutely can. Yes. That's going to be a decision that only Mickey can make. Super late. I'll go back and watch from the beginning. Well, I haven't gotten very far. Sorry, y'all. And we've been on here for about 2.5 hours. We got a whole lot to go through. That ARC program is a money hog for the county. It's all state funds from Medicaid. Yep. Huh? Oh, good. Sounds like Ben was lucky to be first, and still while they were protecting their hind ends. Yeah. Our county in Kentucky is smaller than yours, and we have had metal detectors in schools for years. Yeah, it's a shame. The Hazard State Police will be mixed up in anything crooked in Letcher County. I can't believe they didn't get an outside investigator to work this case. I know. I said the exact same thing. Hazard Post, those cops worked with Mickey and Kevin day in and day out. They were very, very close. All of them are. And I felt the exact same way. Can't believe they did that. But that's our Attorney General's office for you. I think they're the ones that make those kinds of decisions. I'm in New York, about an hour north of New York City, and we don't have metal detectors here in our schools. Wow. Most of them are starting to get them. The world is just changing, y'all. The world is changing. Created by EJF. Wow. How do we sign up to be a member? You can go to the description of this video, and it's right in the top of the description. It'll say join. You can click there, or it should have a little join thing. If you comment after the video, after we get off the live, I can always go in and put the link as a reply to your comment. But if you'll go to the community tab, I think you can get there from there too. But it should say join next to the subscribe button. But if not, just leave me a comment after the video and I'll reply with the link. Old enough to know better, but still able to be an abusive bastard. I agree. Who's Patrick Little? Patrick Little is a prominent businessman who also lives here in Letcher County. He's a musician and he owns a music store. He owns a propane gas play service where he's got big tanks there in his property where you can go get your propane tanks refilled. And he sells like those Amish made outbuildings. So, and his business is right straight across the street from the Whitesburg High School, the Letcher County High School. So, and they're all same age, like all around. Judge Mullins was 54. Mickey was like 43 or something like that. I'm not sure how old Jamie Hatton is, but I'd say he's around Mickey and Kevin's age as well. Probably closer to Kevin's than Mickey's. But you got a lot of these people who went to school together, or they've been friendly since they were young, or at least they've been aware of each other since they were really young. These people have all they all know each other. And Patrick has been friends with people for a long time. A lot of those people down there had private parties. And so my ex-husband played guitar, and he told me, I wasn't never there, but he told me of all kinds of private parties that they have, like at their houses, and allegedly. And they would hire these musicians to come in and play at their private parties. And so they've all seen really bad behavior by everybody. And, it's kind of just the way that I think that it is around here. You've got so many people that participate in these bad behaviors that they end up, well, I got something on you and you got something on me, and this one over there's got something on that one, and that one's got something on that one. So, everybody's got something on everybody. It's beside the subscribe button, she says. I don't have a join button. Time to clean house in Letcher County Prosecutor's Office. Oh, James found it. Yay! Yay. It doesn't seem like they were very good criminals, so I can't imagine it would be that hard to find evidence if they looked. Exactly. But they don't look. There ain't nobody looking. It's crazy. So was the judge involved other than the way convictions happened? We don't know yet, Miss Christie. We really don't. There's a lot of rumors that have been running around, but we just don't know yet. We're just going to have to wait and see how it all comes out. James, the judge was involved up to his bushy eyebrows. If Mickey pleads out, it would make me believe he's in on it too. Yeah, it would make you think that, wouldn't it? I'm in Dutchess County. We are the middle children that no one cares about here. Oh, that shaking a can or bottle is called shake and bake. Yep, that's right, Miss Victoria. I forgot. Yep, you're right. I've learned there is not a join button on an iPad. Not sure about a phone. I can't join until I get on a computer. Well, if you put me, as soon as we get off of here, I'm going to go ahead and jump off here in a minute because I got to go get Gregory. I took him up to his little friend's house. So I'm going to have to go pick him up. But as soon as we get off of here, Winky Wonder, leave a comment on the video, and I will reply with the link, and I'll paste it in there so you can do it through the link on the comment. The lawyer doesn't ask a question he doesn't know the answer to. Perhaps Mickey came clean to his wife and she tossed him out the night before this. It's a possibility. Here in Cincinnati, Ohio, Western Hills High School had metal detectors back in 1991. When I graduated, yeah, I'm old. Cincinnati was bad for riots back then. Think we made national news once or twice. Wow. Well, honey, I graduated in 95, so you're not much older than me. Or 94. It's coming, y'all. Age does not miss any of us. Let's see, Lynn Foley. I was thinking today about how more women have not come forward when there have to be more victims. Then it hit me. The only reason women would not come forward is if there is still someone to fear. That's true. That's true. I believe that too. You've been working hard on getting us this information, Elizabeth. I really appreciate it, and I joined so I could support you at least a little. Thank you, Miss Sherry. God bless you, honey. Every subscriber and view is more than I could even ask for, so I'm very, very grateful. Dory became a YouTube member. Yay! We're going to start doing like members only chats too. We can do it. We can start off as members only on some of our bigger videos when we get going a little bit better. But listen, y'all, we're taking off. We really are. Like the other night, I was telling you that Alan was trying to be my 3,000th subscriber, and we're on our way to 5 today. So it's we're picking up. Is he ready? Yeah, okay, tell him I'm on my way.
He said she said
September is Mickey's trial. It'll all be forgotten by then. Reckon that's why so far out, so the rest will walk. 2025. I thought I saw that on the Facebook. I'll have to look and see what it was. Yeah, there you go, Winky Wonder. I'll leave a comment. Yep. All right, Miss Julie, you all have a great rest of your night, and we'll do one tomorrow, and I'll make sure we get Mommy on here, and we'll finish. We ain't even scratched the surface, y'all, at these documents. I heard this organization has been doing these things since the 80s. I don't live there, but trust the receipts I've seen. A lot of people been involved. Sad. Yes. I'm late getting here tonight. We'll have to watch the replay. That's okay. Small Town Girl, 1776. Thank you for coming, honey. Prissy Pants, I'm an older dinosaur than you. I love it. Thank you, you guys. I appreciate you. Okay. Enjoy the day, Liz. Thank you, my dog Rex. I'm so happy for you. Almost a 5K is crazy. Proof that truth is important to people. Yes. And, just being yourself. I am, when you don't have anything to lose, I don't have anything to lose. Somebody asked me last night if I was afraid or or asked me how people responded to the show around here and stuff. And I haven't had any hate at all. Everything that I've gotten has been love and support and encouragement. Um, and I'm very thankful for that, but I don't really have anything to lose. I'm already, when you're at the bottom, the only place you've got to go is up, y'all. So I'm not afraid. I'm excited. I'm so excited for our channel. It's like a new kid. It's like having a new baby. I'm excited, and yeah, when you ain't got nothing, you got nothing to lose. That's right. That's right. So you take a chance and look at what the Lord can bring about. As long as you don't give up and you stay persistent and, focused and dedicated, good things will come. All right, y'all. You have a good night, and we'll see you tomorrow, okay? All right. Bless you. Stay blessed. Bye.